Now, imagine this. You see a person in public with a child. This person takes care of this child just like you would any other kid. She even speaks to it like you would any other baby. Only for you to realize this person isn't taking care of a child. They're taking care of a doll and pretending that it's real. This doll looks nearly identical to a real baby. What would your first thought be? Would you think this person is mentally ill, or would you find it cute and harmless? Gina Kasoff, or simply Gina, from Missouri has collected many lifelike dolls known as Reborns that she uses in her content creation. Gina has approximately 22 Reborn dolls who are supposed to appear between the ages of newborn and even 9 years old. They all have names, of course, with her most prized doll being named Pippa, which should appear to be 3 years old and is supposed to be the star of Gina's content. So I guess if you have pediophobia, trigger warning for the entirety of this video, I guess. As I said, Gina takes care of her dolls like they're real-life children. She takes it to the extreme. She preps real food, portions it out, and I guess feeds it to her reborns.
You're taking a nap after lunch.
The dolls are not arguing with you, girl. In fact, the dolls cannot talk at all. How'd that doll suction that soup up like that? That's crazy.
For her baby reborns, she feeds them real formula, prepares it, and she changes them with real diapers. Gina buys real clothes from various stores for her silicone children, and at this point, why not bathe your reborns too? I'm sure even toys need to be clean occasionally. When Gina makes her videos, she speaks to her dolls like real human children, and of course they respond to her, with Gina doing the voice acting for the dolls. I sure hope it's not in my head. The voices that she gives her reborns are terrifying.
It's the first day of Christmas break. Jeez, Mom, why can't I sleep in?
Take a picture. It'll last longer.
That doll's voice, I don't know why she makes it so fucking creepy.
I was looking for him.
Stupid elf.
Damn, why'd she make that doll evil?
If that wasn't terrifying enough, Gina makes her reborn dolls walk and run around, which has to probably be the most horrific thing to behold in her videos.
Oh my god. That's my reaction to these dolls running down the hallway.
Because imagine being chased by one of these things. Now, you might think it's not that bad because she's recording in the privacy of her own home, but Gina has no problem recording these shenanigans in public. She's not shy about it at all. She'll take the dolls outside of the house in her yard. She'll even take them to shop at stores like Target for necessities. I guess if you could call them necessities at this point. If you haven't figured it out by now, Gina is extremely committed to treating her reborns like real-life humans. And she does it as accurately as she can. But her TikTok audience finds it quite disturbing, with comments like, "This is sad and scary on so many levels," or "I want to see her medicine cabinet," or another comment saying, "Are you okay, sister?" And I thought it'd be funny to point out, TikTok audiences are relieved to see that her pets are indeed real, with some commenters remarking that the animals are concerned for Gina as well and are probably wondering what's going on.
I wonder what he, her dog, and her cat think about the things that they see in the four walls of this house every day.
They probably don't think anything. Do you think there's any brain activity happening with your pets? Think again.
However, Gina is well aware of the backlash she receives. There's even a TikTok from December 2025 where one of her reborn dolls reads out TikTok comments. Well, I guess Gina rather reads out TikTok comments.
I'm back.
Mom, the comments on your TikTok channel are brutal.
Yeah, let me see. Hey, so I'm terrified. Oh. Oh well.
The main criticism Gina receives is the expense of the items that she's buying for her dolls and the fear that a lot of it is going to waste. With some comments saying, "The amount of money she has spent is mind-blowing. That stroller is not cheap." And another comment reading, "All that food wasted, skull emoji." Gina purchases nourishment, bags, lunch boxes, clothing, toys, books, games, car seats, strollers, cribs, toothbrushes, and wash for all of her dolls. And I can go on and on. The dolls even have their own room. The expense is certainly adding up, especially when everything purchased is real and not just a prop. It looks extremely time consuming to play with the dolls all day. You can tell just by how much trouble Gina goes through to take care of her fake babies. In an article from the New York Post, which I'm going to come back to multiple times in this video, a reporter did an interview with Gina about her Reborn dolls and the content she makes. In said interview, Gina said recording her videos can take over 5 hours. So why does Gina do all this? Is she lonely? Is she sick mentally? Gina is in her 40s, which yes, would make her a millennial.
Elder millennial.
She has a husband of over 2 decades and 5 real children ranging from the ages of 16 to 30. On various platforms in December 2025, Gina made a public statement. In that statement, she said that her family is well aware of her Reborn hobby and YouTube channel, and they're all supportive. And while it may seem like a massive expense for Gina to play with her dolls, she certainly has the funds to cover it. First off, she is a landlord. That alone should cover the cost, but she does spend a lot of money and time on her content across her platforms. Gina's YouTube channel has over 200,000 subscribers and over 60 million views. In that article from the New York Post, Gina said she made about $200,000 in 2025 alone. On TikTok, Gina boasts over 400,000 followers, 6.4 million likes, and tens of millions of views. To put that into perspective, TikTokers in the Creator Fund make between $400 and $1,000 per million views. So all the money and hours of time that Gina dedicates to her content certainly pays off. All the dolls and food and formula or whatever she buys for her videos can be considered props. Hell, she probably writes it all off on her taxes. Now, let's not beat around the bush and let's address the elephant in the room. The real perishables that Gina uses in her videos. If we go back to that public statement that Gina made in December 2025, she claims that all the food that she uses in her content is basically used as leftovers and is eventually eaten. Fair enough, makes sense. Not like she's doing anything weird with the food. Well, actually she is doing something pretty weird, but she's not doing anything to the food that would make it inedible. But there's still the formula. Gina says that she gets expired formula from pantries, and if we're being honest, she probably only uses it for her videos. Now, in a previous video, Gina does contradict herself, saying she was using a real can of formula, but when it was empty, she was going to refill it with flour.
My long-term goal is to make my shows as realistic as possible. And just like every show you watch on television and movies, they're gonna have some realistic props, because it'd be no fun without them. You and I both know that. So of course your girl Gina's gotta have them props as well. So what's gonna happen to that formula once it's all done and gone? It's gonna be refilled with some flour.
I mean, I try my best not to hate on Gina for no reason, but I gotta be straight up. Like, Gina, I really hate this voice that she does in these videos. I'm pretty sure it's not her real voice. It's like some goofy voice that she's doing, but I fucking hate when she does this voice. It's so annoying. No hate though.
But that was from October 2024. And honestly, what probably happened is Gina found the unpatched method. Honestly, Gina's putting that expired formula to better use than if it were just tossed out. Even though Gina's hobby may seem strange, she makes a very good point in her interview with the New York Post. To paraphrase, Gina basically says that it's a double standard that men get to participate in pretend like D&D, Renaissance fairs, civil wars, etc., and it's deemed as socially acceptable. However, people like Gina are being ridiculed for having a hobby that's more on their nurturing side. It sounds like she's saying grown men can play pretend if it's something masculine, but women are not allowed to play pretend if it's a feminine activity. To be honest, she does have a point. This whole Reborn thing is starting to feel a lot less concerning than a grown man collecting Funko Pops. In a TikTok from September 2024, Gina notes that her husband enjoys the drone hobby and asks if it's still creepy that he plays with drones, but she plays with baby dolls.
Do y'all know what my husband's doing right now? He's outside flying his drone. Anyone here think that's weird? A grown man playing with a remote control toy? I didn't think so.
And if it wasn't obvious enough yet, Gina's not mentally ill as far as we know. She knows that her dolls are not real. That's almost like that's the name of her social media accounts. The dolls aren't real. That should basically tell you all you need to know. And Reborn dolls are nothing new. It's just a niche community of enthusiasts. It's not just Gina. Reborn dolls are said to be around as early as the 90s when women wanted something more realistic than a normal baby doll, until the first one was sold online in 2002 through eBay. There are a few reasons people like Reborn dolls. Some collectors say the dolls are works of art. Reborns start with a silicone or vinyl base, and from there they are customized with paint, stuffing, and many other materials. And they also famously need to be placed in a specialized oven. Imagine that, a real looking baby in an oven. Awesome. Reborns are not only supposed to look realistic, they are also supposed to feel realistic.
And then we will assemble, we'll weight the head, we'll weight the body. This is glass beads, and the weight of them gives the weight to the baby. The goal as a Reborn artist is to make them as lifelike as possible. If you can accomplish that, then that's really where I think the niche in the market is for them.
Their surface is supposed to have the texture of real baby skin, and they are supposed to have accurate weight distribution to match that of a real baby. The entire process is known as reborning, and you can imagine the hours of work and precision that it would take to create an ultra lifelike baby doll. You can find cheap reborns from major manufacturers like Amazon for under $100, but they're not really reborns.
Reborns are a full baby, anatomically correct. You could purchase a doll at a store, but it's not going to look lifelike. So they really move and look like a real baby.
If you want a real reborn, reborn dolls are usually custom made. And if you want to get a good one, you could fork over hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you wanted a well-known artist to make your reborn doll. But it is well worth the price for the realest doll possible. There are multiple storefronts to buy reborn dolls, most notably reborns.com. Besides people who enjoy reborns for the art, there are people who enjoy reborns for the therapeutic benefits. Women who spend time with reborns claim that it can be calming to lean more into their maternal instincts.
The day, especially after I've had like a really stressful work day, there's something about holding a newborn baby and rocking them. And if you can take even just a couple of moments to enjoy a baby, then it's wonderful.
There are people who have kids, but they all grew up and moved out and they just want something to take care of.
When you have a child and you give birth, you know, these children are, you're taking care of them, you're coddling them, you're nurturing them, you care for them. It gives you a purpose. Then these children grow up and they do their own thing.
Some people are struggling with a loss of a child or are just incapable of having kids.
They found out that I had stage 4 endometriosis. I remember waking up in the hospital room by myself and the doctor coming in and telling me, like, I'm really sorry, but I don't think you're ever gonna have kids. I needed them because they helped me, because to go to a store and to walk by a baby section is painful. I had no reason to be there, but now I do. Now I can go into a baby section and be like, oh, that'll look cute on my doll.
Reborn dolls are actually, just dolls in general, are given to patients of dementia, Alzheimer's, autism to help treat conditions, and it's said to have great results. People also appreciate that reborn dolls never grow up and they stay a baby and they never grow out of their clothes.
Do you know what I like about the reborns? I can buy it a new outfit and it stays new for forever.
Plus, they never scry, cream. Whoa, wait. Plus, they never cry, scream, poop, etc. Epic. Note that most enthusiasts reborn dolls are from the ages of preemie to toddler. However, Gina has dolls as old as 7 or even 9. Speaking of Gina, content creators are also another group of reborn enthusiasts. People who might have gotten into reborns for a different reason and decided to make content out of their hobby. To list YouTube channels that make similar content to Gina, there are creators such as Tori's Reborn Babies with 150,000 subscribers, Love My Reborn Baby with almost 500,000 subscribers, and Amy Sanchez at 250,000 subscribers. One account formerly known as Young Reborn Mommy is now known as Young Real Mommy, has Reborn videos from over a decade ago. As you may have guessed, this mother now makes content with her human son, sitting at 270,000 subscribers. While you may have assumed that all Reborn enthusiasts were female, you're actually incorrect. There's a YouTube channel with only 830 subscribers known as Strong Hands Reborn Dad, which is a guy who's into Reborn dolls. While that's an uncommon case, people like him do exist. But that's just to list a few content creators. There's many of them. Reborning may seem super niche, but it's actually a large community. But who even enjoys this type of content? Obviously, other people who are already into Reborn dolls or are interested in getting into the hobby. But it shouldn't surprise you that kids love this type of playtime content. In that New York Post article, Gina said she gets many letters and YouTube comments from girls under the age of 12. This may explain why Gina has millions of views on her YouTube channel. While adults may be busy and have responsibilities, kids have hours of free time to watch a grown woman play with dolls on their iPad for hours a day. Reborn dolls seems like a harmless hobby, but enthusiasts within the community still gets in trouble, which might be the source of critiques from the public. There are several instances where emergency responders were dispatched because somebody mistook a Reborn doll for a real child. One instance on July 23rd, 2016 in New Hampshire, a woman left her Reborn doll in a car in a Walmart parking lot while she got her hair cut at Supercuts. Which is like no forethought at all. It's just like, fuck it, dude. She's got her baby out there just baking in the car while she's getting chopped at Supercuts. A police officer arrived and an ambulance was called, and the police officer busted out the woman's car window, and the officer even began CPR before he realized it was a doll and not a real child. So of course the ambulance was canceled, and the woman put a sticker in her car window explaining that she had Reborn dolls in the car and they're not real babies. Please don't bust out my window.
A police officer broke into a car on a hot day to save what he thought was a baby. It was actually a doll named Ainsley with extremely realistic features. The New Hampshire officer even called an ambulance and tried CPR. The owner returned to the scene in a Walmart parking lot to find her new car window smashed. Similar instances have occurred around the world, and repairs are usually covered by the police department. Ainsley's mom has now made a custom sign for her car window to avoid situations like this in the future.
I feel like if she always has Reborn dolls in her car, it was only a matter of time, and I don't know how she didn't figure that out before her fucking window got busted out. In another incident from the same year in December, but in Ohio, a pair of sisters who were both Reborn artists had the cops called on them because people on the internet thought that the Reborns they were selling online was actually a human trafficking thing, only for the responding police officer to discover that the women sold Reborn dolls.
Two Lorraine sisters who are artists make these lifelike baby dolls. Besides selling them, they also donate some of them to nursing homes. They told me the lifelike babies helped relax nursing home residents and bring back good memories from when they were parents. But their story took an unusual twist when a woman who came across their Facebook page and thought the dolls were real and being sold. That woman called Sheffield Lake Police. She thought the babies were some form of human trafficking. A police officer went to dollmaker Kathy Cato's house to check out the complaint. He ended up getting a good laugh after realizing the babies were fake. He even took time to pose for a picture with Kathy.
No real babies around here, okay? Hey, we don't keep the real babies upstairs. We keep them in the basement, you know what I'm saying?
What?
These are just decoys. Imagine that. That'd be so fucking crazy if they were actually human trafficking. They're like, no, we just got all these decoys up here. I mean, not decoys, Reborn dolls. The responding police officer then also took a selfie with the women. Cheats. To make things darker, there are concerns that EDPs, if you know what that means, could purchase these Reborn dolls for nefarious reasons. Ugh.
I almost wonder if this isn't feeding into some kind of like weird fetish, because she's...
Fetish? Whoa! How does your mind even go there? That's a little bit concerning. The hell is she talking about?
But that's just a theory. In my opinion, predators are gonna ruin anything. That doesn't mean that actual Reborn enthusiasts can't just have fun. At the end of the day, I think the moral of the story is very simple, and it's showcased time and time again no matter what the community is. Like furries or anime or Funko Pops, whatever you're into, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, just let people enjoy what they like.
You know, Gina here is doing the same thing that a lot of other influencers have done that I've covered on this channel, where they're focusing so much on kindness instead of just realizing that someone might not have the same opinion as.
I mean, why can't you be like, yeah, this is weird, but, you know, it's fine. Like, why can't you just be nice? You know, you're just, like, putting so much negativity out there for what, you know? This person, the dolls aren't real, is not really doing anything wrong. That's the issues. You're putting negativity out there for no reason. You can give your opinion, but you don't have to be so rude and condescending, you know?
The opposite end of supporting you is unkind, bullying, hateful. It's a tired argument. People just think it's...
It really depends, though. It really depends on what you're saying and how you're saying it.
You don't have to understand it.
But I hope that Gina, you know, finds whatever she is looking for. I'm still very confused by this content.
I mean, you don't have to understand it. We don't all have to understand it, but I think she is finding exactly what she's looking for this content. She's making content, she's making money, you know, playing with their dolls and shit. Like, what else is there to it?
But if we're being honest, it's pretty fucking weird, right? Like, on the other side of the coin, if you're putting yourself out there on the internet, you are subject to be judged. You know, that's just the way the internet works. Just don't take that judgment too far. Like, we have politicians who likely did nefarious things on an island years ago, and they're walking free. And we also got government agents executing people in the street. You know, I think there are bigger things to worry about. We got bigger fish to fry. There are a lot of things much more worthy of your criticism. Anyways, I assume if you made it this far in the video, you enjoyed it, so maybe you would like to sub or like. Please, man, please, I need the engagement. In the comments down below, let me know what you thought about this video and any other topics that you would like me to cover. With all that said, next time you will see me will be online.